Hey guys, and welcome to Jenkins 31, and welcome to episode number 2 of The Bullpen. So, there's been some news surrounding Major League Baseball, talking about a top prospect who's getting ready to make his Major League debut tomorrow, due to a trade that happened between the Atlanta Braves and the Detroit Tigers. The trade was Eric Ibar and cash getting sent to the Detroit Tigers for infielder, or really utility man, Mike Aviles and catcher Cade Savike. I'm going to assume that's how you say his last name. So that's another top prospect, well, maybe not top prospect, but prospect for the Braves in the catching department. Finally, an upgrade over A.J. Pierzynski. And they're getting a utility man because they could really use, well, just about every position out there. So, Josh, why don't you get started on what you think of the trade first before we say who's getting called up, even though they can tell by the name of by the title of the video.
Yeah, actually the trade I think favors the Braves. The Tigers are getting, good guy, but Eric Ibar, I mean, he's not great, but whatever. Anyway, you get back to the Braves side of things, and really they get the good end of the deal, in my opinion, because they get the good catching prospect who actually could be an everyday player here in 3 or 4 years. And you also get rid of a bad salary with Ibar. I know they sent over cash. Who cares? But, they need a utility fielder basically to just survive the season. So that's why they got who was it again? I forget his name already. Mike Aviles, yeah. He'll get him through the season, okay? So you basically use him for a season, dump him, and then you keep the catching prospect, which you really need to get through here in a couple years. So, the Tigers, they're not too far out of the playoffs, so they might actually be able to use them. So, what do you think about it?
Well, basically what's going on is they're getting rid of arguably the worst player on the Braves roster this season in Eric Ibar. I just want to note real quick, guys, Josh basically despises Eric Ibar.
Yeah, I do. Not as bad as Emilio Bonifacio, though.
Let's save that for another day. Trust me, we'll get there eventually. But anyway, Mike Aviles is basically going to be the 2016 version of Martin Prado, like 6 years ago. Yeah. It's a utility man that the Braves desperately need because they don't have anyone versatile enough to be able to play first base one day, left field another day, third base another day, and then center field the next, Yeah. And that will open up many day off possibilities, rather, for Freeman, Kemp, Inciarte, Markakis. Who the hell is your guys' second baseman right now? Is it Gordon Beckham?
Yeah, I believe so.
God. Beckham's bounced around everywhere.
I mean, it's...
So does Aviles, but... But anyway, my point
and
being
then also the guy we're going to talk about later.
Right. Well, he hasn't bounced around everywhere. He's went from one team to another. That's it. It stays right there. But,
Yeah.
Overall, I definitely have to say that the Braves won this trade. They're dumping the salary of, I don't even know what his contract is. I don't think I want to know what his contract is.
It's not good.
But Ibar is only hitting .242 with 2 homers and 26 RBIs. Oh, and he's making $8.5 million this year to do that. Now, the Braves are definitely winning this trade. They got a catcher for the future, so they don't have to re-sign A.J. Pierzynski every year for the next 6 years. Not that he would anyway, because he's like 30-something. 34, 35.
Well, let's also talk about Freeman and Tehran. They're signed through 2020 and 2021, so you have to keep some free agency cap to be able to keep them actually on.
I'm calling it right now. Tehran's traded in the offseason.
I mean, it's very possible. They've got so many dang pitching prospects they can pull up in the next couple of years.
Yeah. This offseason, Teheran's out. Voltis Swanson or whatever, he's out.
Voltinavich.
Yeah, him. Freaking, I wouldn't be surprised if you're a closer. I don't even know half the people who are on the Braves. They're like all no names except for Teheran, Freeman, Kemp, and Inciarte.
Yeah, they are so far.
Anyway, so even though you guys already know by the title of this video who's getting called up, for those of you who didn't read the title, they just clicked on the video. The Braves are calling up top prospect, number one prospect, actually, I think in all of baseball, I'm pretty sure. No, that's Alex Bregman, I'm sorry. But number one prospect in the Braves farm system, shortstop Dansby Swanson, who is set to make his debut tomorrow, August 17th, Wednesday, and is more than likely going to be their everyday shortstop. They'll probably throw Mike Aviles down at third base, or maybe even second, to get Gordon Beckham just the hell out of there.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that.
So, in 127 games, Swanson's hitting .277 with 10 homers and 66 RBIs, compared to Ibar, who's hitting .242, 2 homers and 26 RBIs.
Yeah, but that's also a double-A, though. But
it is, but I mean, he's still got better offensive numbers no matter where the hell it is. Than what's his face, Ibar. So, I don't know. What do you think on Swanson? What do you think he's going to bring to the team?
I think he's going to be a more consistent hitter than anybody we've had since Simmons, since we traded him. You can put him at shortstop. You could throw the new prospect that's coming up next year, Ozzie Albies, up to second base, and then you could have a really good middle infield. I think Dansby Swanson's actually going to be really good. I think he's going to have a really good career. I think this might be a tad bit early. I don't know that it'll actually make the opening day roster next year. They might switch around some pieces, just get him some early experience this year, and then maybe actually call him up for real through the mid part of next season or something. But I think this is definitely to get him some experience and, see where he is at. Is he going to hit really good in the major leagues? Is he going to field pretty good in the major leagues? Just, like I said, it's just about experience at this point and see, where the number one prospect is. I think he'll do okay, though. I'm not expecting anything out of this world, but...
Do you think it's going to be Ozzie Albies and Dansby Swanson up the middle next year?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it'll probably be that way.
I know you said he might not make the opening day roster, but do you think that they might be forced to just because of how badly they tanked this season? Do you think they'll be forced to rush them a little bit?
Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. I would actually prefer it that way, but I think they're definitely capable of playing the middle infield. I think it's just a tad bit early, though, but maybe sometimes that's the better thing. Just throw them in the fire and see what happens.
Yeah. So, actually, more breaking news out of Atlanta, or really more breaking news out of Gwinnett. The Braves released second baseman Omar Infante. Infante, who signed a minor league deal with them about 6 weeks ago following his release by the Royals, is still paying the full – Kansas City is still paying the full $8 million owed to Infante this year, as well as a $2 million buyout. So they're still paying him $10 million. But
to do nothing.
Yeah. In 116 plate appearances at AAA, Infante is hitting .209 with a .226 slugging percentage and a .300 on-base percentage.
None of those are good either. Really no surprise either. I mean, he looked really terrible in Kansas City. I don't even know why we picked him up other than that he was a former Brave and maybe he could mentor some guys down in the minor leagues, but...
The whole reason that Manny Ramirez got picked up by the Cubs 2 years ago?
So. Yeah, no kidding.
Literally, Ramirez was a player coach in Iowa 2 years ago. Like, he was more of a coach than he was a player, but he still got at bats.
Yeah.
Like, and now hitting for the Iowa Cubs, manager Manny Ramirez. Oh.
I'll tell you what, the whole Braves team is going to be completely different other than the 5 major pieces we have. I think it's just going to be a whole bunch of new faces.
5? The hell do you get 5 from? Honestly.
Well, you got Matt Kemp, Nick Markakis, Julio Teheran, Freddie Freeman, and now Dansby Swanson.
Do you be honest though? How many of those do you honestly think are going to be a Braves uniform next season?
I think all of them would be.
Even Teheran?
I think he's a bit of a question mark, honestly, but yeah, I think he stays just because the Braves really want to get some excitement for the crowd to open up their new stadium next year. You got to remember, they're trying to get a lot of people to the ballpark. They want some excitement around Atlanta. I think more of like a trade deadline type deal next year could be made for Teheran, or they can just keep with him. I don't know what they're going to do, but I think trading him is definitely a possibility, but I don't think so before the beginning of next year.
I don't know. I mean, if you think of this year's free agent class for pitchers, or, especially starters, obviously, there are some that are probably going to retire. And this isn't the greatest free agent class, but there's pitchers, Brett Anderson, Buckles, Casher, Julius Chasen, you guys have a reunion with him. Big Sexy, Bartolo Colon, Jorge De La Rosa, R.A. Dickey, Doug Fister, Jaime Garcia, Hellickson, Rich Hill, who may or may not ever make his Dodgers debut. Kazmir could opt out of his last years with the Dodgers. Latos, John Neese, Jake Peavy, CC Sabathia. I mean, there are guys out there that the Braves could go after, trade Teheran, get some, prospects and some talent. And honestly, in the offseason, that's when the trades get better, like major league for major league. So, you guys could trade him to, like, the Dodgers or something. Or no, that's going to be a hard one. Like, let's say the Giants, and you guys could get, yeah, he's a little washed up, but Matt Cain, You guys could trade, like, Teheran.
I mean, that would still be.
Yeah, like, you guys could trade, like, Teheran, Ozzy Albies, and, I don't know, Inciarte to the Giants, and that would upgrade you guys to possibly get Johnny Cueto.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I'm not throwing anything out, but I don't know. I think the GM of the Braves, I forget his name right off the top of my head, but he has not been conservative at all. He's been aggressive. So,
no,
I mean, it's definitely a fresh look for the Braves. So, I actually think he knows what he's doing. So I wouldn't actually, push the panic button no matter what he does. So he's gotten us a lot of great talent in the farm system. And, of course, we got Matt Kemp, which I actually like that trade. Don't call me crazy, but...
You're crazy. No, but,
I don't know. I think he's building a solid team.
And then talking about, like, what I was saying with the catchers, there's the whole option of Alex Avila, Jason Castro, A.J. Ellis, frickin' Jonathan Lucroy, for crying out loud, if he opts out of his contract with the Rangers.
Yeah, I don't think we'd get him, though. I think it would be
I'm just saying, it's like, think about, I mean, you know damn well as much as I do that the teams that do worse have more money to work with.
Yeah. I don't know. I could definitely see us going out and getting a free agent catcher. No doubt about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Lucroy, but I mean, even if you guys settled for something like Ellis or Wilson Ramos, or if you guys want to take a risk on Matt Wieters,
Yeah, I could definitely see us with A.J. Ellis.
And then next year, or not next year, but as well as free agents. Oh, never mind, I forgot, he's retiring. Never mind. But and then there's some decent second base. I mean, there's a whole lot you guys could do with this free agent class. Honestly, like it's not great, but I mean, if you take this year's free agent class and then even next year's free agent class, like I mean, there's no telling what you guys could do.
Nope. Especially with how aggressive he's being. So, yeah, there's a lot of prospects we have to work with too. So we could trade away a couple to get a pretty good player, or they could go out and do something really weird and trade Kemp or Markakis or somebody and get some prospects or something. I don't know. It's just there's a lot to work with, and there's a lot to work with to get a pretty dang good team here in a couple of years. So.
Oh yeah, and other guys I didn't mention this year that are available: Edinson Volquez, Chris Medlin. You guys could bring him back. And then there's relievers available: Chapman, Mark Melancon. Then there's third baseman or really versatile players available: Justin Turner. There's Francisco Cervelli. Neil Walker's even available. Ian Desmond, who now we know can play shortstop, third base, or center field.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys just may build a decent team within the next couple of years. And I think the year after is what? Arrieta, Kershaw, that's when those guys come off the books.
Yeah.
So, you guys may pull something out. Tanaka could opt out of his contract, which I actually have a feeling he will. I'll be honest. So.
Yeah, I could definitely see him do that.
But, I mean, you guys are in line for some pretty decent guys in the next few years. With the money you guys are going to have.
What's really cool is we got a lot of pitching prospects we could do away to and not have to get away from the utility guys and the shortstops and second basemen that we have. So
Exactly. Although, I'll be honest with you, when I said Justin Turner, I honestly don't see him leaving L.A. unless it's via trade.
Yeah, I don't either. I would say more of like...
Martin Prado.
No. I mean, he could always come back. It would be like his 20th time back, but...
Or you guys could try and take Brock Holt from the Red Sox, the guy who can play every position but catcher. He can even frickin' pitch.
We might as well just freaking sign Kelly Johnson to a 30-year contract.
Oh, God. That would be his, second, third time with the Braves just to turn around and get shipped right back to the Mets? That'd be his third time.
Yeah, the third time.
Seriously, I mean, last year, around May or June, the Braves trade Kelly Johnson to the Mets.
Yep, then we picked him back up, and then guess what happened again? We trade him back to the Mets.
I mean, honestly, it doesn't make sense to me, why you guys keep basically shooting yourselves in the foot. I mean, what
do you mean by that?
Because the Braves need to realize that even, if a trade's there, you don't have to pull the trigger. Honestly.
Yeah, we don't have to, but what value is Kelly Johnson to us right now?
Well, hold on, I'll pull it up and I'll tell you.
Yeah, it's not like we're going to compete for anything right now anyway.
Last year, the New York Mets traded John Gant and Rob Whalen to the Atlanta Braves for Juan Uribe and Kelly Johnson. Most of that value...
Another salary dump.
Yeah, most of that value was Juan Uribe, okay?
Yeah.
So, you guys got John Gant and Rob Whalen. So, that's not bad. I think they're both in your top 30, if I'm not mistaken. And then this year, almost a year to the day, Atlanta Braves trade Kelly Johnson in cash. I love how... Hold on a second. New York Mets trade right-handed pitcher, blah, 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 and right-handed pitcher, blah, 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 for third baseman and left fielder Kelly Johnson. This year, Atlanta Braves traded second baseman Kelly Johnson and cash to the New York Mets for Akil Morris.
Yeah.
So
Akil Morris is also number 28 prospect, so we've gotten prospects for Kelly Johnson.
So I'm thinking Kelly Johnson's got a little value.
Oh, he does. That's why we keep picking them up, and then we keep shipping them off to get prospects.
What I'm saying is they need to, like, if they know that they're going to trade him, if they're not trading for immediate help, why pick him up? Like, I mean, he's not good.
So you can get future help.
I'll be the first to admit that he's not good. You know, on the season he's hitting 238 on the year.
Yeah.
His best.
But then you look at it, we got the number 22 prospect and the number 28 prospect by just picking them up and trading them.
But the number, what was the second one? The 26 or whatever? 22 and 20 what?
22 and 28.
28. But if you look at the number 28 prospect, he's not even listed in the top 100. He's unranked. So really, you're not really, yeah, you're getting something for him the first time around, but the second time around, you're not getting shit.
Hey, I'll take the number 28 prospect. In our farm system, obviously, but I don't care.
I'm just saying, like, most of the value when you guys got John Gant and whoever the hell the other guy was, Rob Whalen or whatever, most of that was because you guys gave him Juan Uribe.
You know what? Maybe we're trying to win the Double-A championship.
You guys probably actually don't have a problem doing that either. just completely swap rosters. Everyone from Gwinnett go up to Atlanta. Everyone from Atlanta except Freddie Freeman, Julio Teheran, Matt Kemp, Ender Inciarte, Nick Markakis go down to Double-A.
I wouldn't be too mad about that.
Watch you guys win a frickin' World Series the first year. I said Double-A Gwinnett. You know what I meant.
Yeah, I knew.
Double-A Mississippi. I don't know, it overall just doesn't make sense to me what they're doing. Like, I get they're rebuilding for the future.
What the Braves are doing?
Yeah, like, I get they're rebuilding for the future and everything, but for them, I guess the future that they actually want to win in is in, like, 2030.
No, not 2030. I'm thinking, like, 2018, 2019. Probably 2019, but...
To win the World Series? Good luck with that.
No, you don't want to win the World Series. It's a slow process. I mean, we've been rebuilding for at least 2 years now. It usually takes about 4 or 5, and then you compete, and then 2 or 3 years later after that, then you start doing something.
I'm about to say, it's like the Braves aren't winning the World Series till at least 2022.
Well, that's the timeline I just laid out for you.
Yeah. I mean, unless they go out and, sign Trout, Harper, Stanton... frickin' get Andrelton Simmons back, go get Manny Machado, go get frickin' Ian Desmond to go over and play second base, keep Freeman and get Brian McCann back or something. You're not doing crap until at least 2022.
Well, I know, and let's see, Dansby Swanson is age 22, so he's not even ripe yet. You let him get to his prime in 27, and you build a really good team before that, heck, he could do really damn good.
I'm telling you right now, that team is going to be built around Albies and Swanson up the middle. I'm telling you that right now.
You just said you'd trade him.
Huh?
You said about 5 minutes ago I'd trade Albies for somebody. I can't remember who you said anymore.
Oh, yeah, Matt Cain. I was saying if you were to trade Teheran, I was saying if you wanted someone good, you'd have to throw in Albies or Swanson. We all know they're more than likely not going to, but I'm saying if you wanted to get someone decent.
Okay.
I'm not saying I want to trade him. I don't really care where Albies goes. I'm just saying, like, especially if they don't trade him, that team is going to be centered around Albies and Swanson up the middle in 2020. Obviously they'll be up the middle
he's
before
only
that.
19 years old.
Exactly. Like, yes, he can make his debut, but he's definitely not ready.
No, he's not.
He probably won't make his debut until, like, I don't even know. Probably until he's 23 at the youngest. Anything about Swanson's how old? 22?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's about right. 22, 23 years old is usually when players of that caliber start to make their debut. So,
Unless you're just freaking Bryce Harper.
I was going to say, unless you're like Harper or Machado or somebody of that caliber. Or honestly, what's his face? Jorge Mateo.
Yeah.
Mike Trout, he made his debut at what? 20? 21? No.
Yeah.
He had to have been young.
20.
He had to have been younger than that. There's no way he's 26 already. Hold on, he had to have been younger than that.
Was he 18?
He made his debut in 2011. He was 20. Oh my God. How is Mike Trout 25? Like, I know that's not old, but I still feel like he's like that young, like, barely not a teenager phenom, you know?
You want to know what scares me? I'm 26.
My God.
I think I'm old now.
It's unbelievable. Like, wow. But I know this is about Swanson, but I just want to talk about Trout for 2 seconds. Can we talk just for a second?
1, 2.
Why that? How he was the MVP, correct, when was it, 2013 and 2014? No, just 2014,
Mm-hmm.
just 2014. Rookie of the Year in 2012. Not Rookie of the Year, Silver Slugger 2012 through 2015. Defensive Player of the Year 2012. AL All-Star 2012 through this year, 2016. He's hitting .311, but he's not even in the MVP conversation.
Yeah.
Who are the top 3 guys in the MVP conversation right now? Mookie Betts, Manny Machado, Josh Donaldson. Who in a million years would have thought that the top 3 consisted of those players? Especially Mookie Betts.
Not me. No, yeah, I was about to say that, especially Betts.
Like, Machado in a couple years. Donaldson, obviously, because he just won it last year. But Betts? And then I think in the top 10, number 7, freaking the guy who couldn't stay in the majors 3 years ago, Jackie Bradley Jr. Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah.
may be distant, but he's in the running for damn MVP. What?
Yeah, basically, after that hot start he had at the very beginning and had his 20-plus game hit streak.
Yeah. And so because my channel got deleted and I don't have the video anymore, we need to go and do our awards predictions here soon. I don't know when, but we need to do that.
I don't mind. You can your channel get deleted for.
I'll explain that later.
All right.
Anyway, but so overall, Swanson's gonna be good for the Braves. Now that we're back on the track here, he'll be good for the Braves. Like Josh said, he may not make the major league roster next year, even though I'm sure he probably will, unless they go out and sign somebody like Justin Turner or something. Mike Aviles will probably be on a different team next year. Same with Chase Darno, Gordon Beckham. All those. Most that middle infield they have right now of Darno and Beckham, they won't be there next year. It'll probably be Swanson, and I don't know, maybe they'll just go out and trade for somebody next year. But anyway, let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and we'll be talking to you guys later. Peace, I'm out.